Hello, beautiful people. Dumela. I have taken notice that most of the information that I share with people is of such a high level of esotericism that not a lot of people get it. And the people that do speak about some of the things that I speak about, I realize they don't speak about it from a point of their own personal experience, but it's from hearing others speak about it and therefore just regurgitating that information, and it literally just takes away from it. So I just wanted to share my experience, right? I just wanted to share my experience. I won't be able to encapsulate it into this conversation, but I want to share the experience in itself so as whoever takes away from it can see. So there's this one time that, and this is like the biggest moment of my awakening, because I got to see all that is face to face. So there's this one time that me and a very close friend of mine, a brother, we booked this place. It's in a farm. It's very isolated. The place, beautiful energy. So set and setting is very crucial for everything I'm about to speak about right now. So now in this place, I got to experience myself in the greatest depth possible. So let me start it by saying this, right? So when we were born, there is high amounts of DMT that are secreted in the brain. When we die, there is high amounts of DMT that is secreted in the brain. So to speak, this is like an agent that helps you go through a certain portal. Let's just call it that. It allows your soul to interact with other dimensions in a very, very in-depth manner. Now, so I took 3 hits of this thing. Before I even got to the 3rd hit, my world was already disintegrating, see. But when I got to the 3rd hit, what happens is this, or what happened to me rather, because it's very subjective. It all just depends. But there's a common place with all the experiences, and people that have undergone this will tell you exactly the same thing. There's a certain commodity to it, like it's not commodity in terms of economics, but there's a common place. But it is very subjective to who the person is, their beliefs, and all that. Now, the first initial phase when you go in, because you see yourself disintegrate into all these little things that make up you, but they all have lives of their own, right? So your body is literally just, it's a flipping universe. But so as you disintegrate, then when you close your eyes and then you go deep in, the first initial period offers you an opportunity to look at who you think you are. Now, who you think you are is made of the key moments where in your life you took certain decisions that anchored you, and therefore like it's an anchor, and then after that anchor, the decisions that you make there determine which possibility or which direction then you go into, right? So everything is choice, by the way. But So all these anchors are shown to you, but not just those anchors. It's so difficult to just, but okay, so this is what happens, right? So you go in, you come across the snake-like energy, and then you realize that the snake-like energy is it's what you can call space, because it's what carries ultimately everything that transpires within it. So it's this beautiful wave, and your body starts contorting, and you realize that the contortions themselves, like, just when you alter shape, you alter form. Oh my goodness. Okay, so so okay, let me just calm down a bit. So you go in, you experience this moment, but in the trip itself, or in the journey itself, let me call it a journey. In the journey itself, the first initial minutes, the first initial minutes, you go through an opportunity of looking at yourself and what defines you exactly as it is. Like, you get to see you and everything as it is, right? So it's like the magnetic field that surrounds you, this electromagnetic field, you draw it inside, because in the magnetic field itself lies your memories, and it's part of your subconscious. Like, that's the unseen part of you. So as you reconcile all these parts that you put out there, and then you bring them in, then this experience, or this journey, turns into the straight linear line that connects your heart to your brain. Now, when these things line up, it feels as though you are shooting out your soul. You are shooting out at the top of your head, and it becomes sort of it becomes like a tunnel, right? So in this tunnel is where you get to see this glimpses of, like, the tunnel is just white, and then it's surrounded by all these spots. These spots are other dimensions, memories, or whatever, because when you go into a dimension, it's like you astral projecting. You can pick any one of those gold stars or whatever, these balls. When you go inside them, you can pick into them and see existence happening at that point in time, right? Because everything is now. So when you are done with, I don't know, assimilating all pieces of yourself back to self, and then you are in this tunnel, something happens, and then you hear this sound that it's like electricity or thunder. But it keeps on building speed, right? And then as it builds speed, and you keep on going up, and then you get to this place at the end of that tunnel that is purely just, I can say, white light, but it's bright, but it's also alive, because you can telepathically communicate with it, right? And language is so, but language is just one of the containers. So there isn't any distinct language that you use. You just telepathically know this thing, it knows you, and all of this feels like you are experiencing it again. It doesn't feel like the first time. It feels so familiar. So now, as you see this white light, when you pierce through it, now you see this thing. It's made of colors. It's It sort of looks like the swastika, but all the arms of this thing are they turning into themselves, but they don't get entangled, but they turning. And then this thing is just made of colors and just beautiful frequencies, and everything you look on this thing, it just it contorts itself. It's like everything is happening there for some odd reason. That's how it feels like, right? Everything is happening there, but then you can go beyond that point, right? And then when you go beyond past that point, like just break through, and for you to be able to break through, then you need to completely surrender to death, because this is literally what this feels like. And remember, at the beginning of the video I said, at the moment of death, high DMT levels from the pineal gland, at your I said death, and then at your death, same thing. So portal moment. So now when you go through this portal, right, now there isn't anything that feels like you. There's no human, there's no all the other things that are at the back there, all these dimensions that you can go through, all these memories and so forth, you can experience them. And to tell you the truth, I was under for maybe 30-45 minutes, but it felt like thousands of years. It felt like lifetimes, because each and every dimension that you go into, or memory, or whatever, you become it. And when you become it, you experience, even with other people, this is not like you, even with other people, you become that thing, or you become the person, and you experience everything as them. Why they take certain decisions, why are they like that, or so then you get to understand what containers are and what we are as containers. But okay, past that point, right? We are there now. Now you cross this barrier where you cross this barrier where now you are awareness itself. It feels like nothing, but it contains all things, and that is you. And when you there's no human, there's no alien, there's no rock, there's nothing that stems from light itself. It's just nothing, but nothing that is powerful beyond anything I can articulate. Even calling it nothing, I'm containing it, guys. It's nothing, but it's everything at the same time. And you are exactly that. You are just consciousness as it is. You just this powerful. You are just this powerful, infinite thing that is just alive, but it's also dead, but it's also existing and non-existing, and just everything is encompassed in it. There's no division, there's no polarity, it just is. It's just away. It's just fully away, and it is everywhere and in everything. It is infinite love, but it also exists in hate. It's just it's everything, and that's what you are. There's no death. It's just changing containers, yes, but there is no such thing as death. There is no such thing as loss. It's just how we decide to view things, and therefore just encapsulate them in a certain moment. But you are absolutely everything and nothing at the same time. And so what's all this rush in the world? Where are you going, bruh? Like, where are you rushing to? You are already everything right now, so where you? There's no way to go. There's no such thing as not existing. It's for the mere fact that you exist. You are everything. You are everything. Dumelang. I wish you get to experience yourselves in this light. Nothing will ever be the same. You will realize that the only bounds, the only constraints, the only ambits that you have around self are experiences themselves. But you far supersede any of that. You are a thing that can be named. Because when you name yourself something, you become it. This is the amount of just abundant love that lives within you. Everything is loved in that way. And now, after experiencing all of that, upon now coming back from the journey, as I'm coming back, well, as consciousness is coming back, now I have to remember the container that I am and rebuild myself. And as I'm building myself from literally now I experience life as my father's sperm. In another dimension, I'm experiencing myself as my mom's ovum. Now I conjoin into this thing that joins both of them. Now that's a different life on its own. Now I have a life inside my mother's womb, but it's a completely different life. And when I'm then born, I had to die then, death, just changing forms. I had to die then and then become this thing that I am. But then, after I'm born, I experience life through my parents' eyes. I experience life through school, through society. All of these are containers that I put myself in. And then I call that me. This infinite thing calls itself this finite thing. But because I had to do that to self, now I understand the depth of why I'm like this. Why everything is a flippin' miracle. Everything is every moment. There's no good, there's no bad, just perspectives. Everywhere, just perspectives. And things that are conscious. A rock is conscious. Everything is conscious. Else, if it wasn't conscious, then how does it retain form? It is connected to the information that defines that form, and therefore it can tap into that and become form. Infinity contained, but you are not containment. Containment helps you experience this, but it is not just you. You are not just that. You are powerful beyond anything you can name. I love you guys. please love yourselves.